You
But
may like Horror Legends, actually.
okay,
It's kind of a smaller version of DayZ, very smaller version, but there's also giant pumpkinhead monsters chasing you.
okay. What's
The-
the premise of it? Like, what? Tell me about it. Like,
Horror Legends is this is burned into my brain. Horror
I
Legends is a 5 versus 1 asymmetrical multiplayer horror game where one person gets to play as a badass monster and
oh,
terrorize a group of survivors.
like Dead Before Dawn, kind of, or Death Before Dawn, or
Dead by Daylight, yeah,
Dead by
it's like
Daylight.
that. It's not Dead by Daylight did not inspire Horror Legends. We've been making Horror Legends since like 2014,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and it's just taken a long time because I'm just most of that time was just me scrapping by trying to get stuff put together and finding the right people to work with and once I started finding the right people, things started coming together in like 2018, 2019,
Oh, that's awesome.
but yeah, I was building art for almost 8 years before the game came out, and it just
Wow.
random ideas, and I'm working on the design documents, talking to people. I ran 2 crowdfunding campaigns that failed, but yeah, I just loved the idea so much. I had to make the game, so that's kind of what that is. But it's got a lot of survival. I wanted you to feel like you're in a horror movie, and like, would you do the things that people in a horror movie would do if you would have like
Huh,
be put
that's cool.
against a monster or
Yeah,
something?
I'm excited. I want to play it now.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
that is because people always yell at horror movies. You're like, why are you doing that? Like, you should go that way. And so that's a cool premise.
Yeah, you'd be surprised how often people do the wrong thing in the game. Like, because you're like, oh, well, you're in the movie. When you're watching a movie, you're like, you're calm, you're collected, you're eating popcorn. You're like, why would you go upstairs? But when you're
Yeah.
getting chased by a werewolf, you're like, you're making horrible decisions.
Yeah.
It's because you're panicked. So
Oh,
it's
yeah.
kind of fun to see that stuff play out. Like, especially in Horror Legends, I've seen people do some really weird things. Like, we have well, I've seen people walk up to the giant pumpkin monster with a scythe for a hand and just start punching him in the face. I'm like, what are you doing? He's gonna kill you. And then they die. And they're like, why? What made you think that was gonna work out for you? And it's kind of funny to see
Yeah.
that. I guess in games you just feel impervious.
I think
Not
you
me.
could cut the pumpkin monster's head off with with the scythe, right?
Well,
Maybe
he's got the pumpkin monster's got the scythe. That's the problem.
Oh, you don't have the
Yeah,
weapon.
I mean, I've seen people just walk up with nothing and just start punching him, and it's like, you're just annoying him.
Okay.
He's gonna turn around and he's gonna take you out. But
Yeah. Now, is it like they have to work together? The people in the if they choose to.
yeah, you work together to complete objectives to escape, and it's all
Nice.
based around, it's got a very Halloween vibe to it. So there's like good witch and a bad witch, and they're kind of running the objectives. You have, there's a good witch trying to help you escape, while a bad witch is trying to keep you in with the monster. They're not players. They're just like the objectives. So there's like effigies you have to burn to like unlift this curse so you can get out of the environment. And it's all fantasy and like exaggerated, for fun. It's very tongue-in-cheek horror. It's not to be taken too seriously. Like,
Oh, that's cool. Because
yeah.
I have a hard time with horror games. I'm terrible. I'm terrible at them because I'm afraid I get really involved. Like Silent Hill was terrifying to me.
Oh yeah, it's
absolutely
definitely
terrifying.
one of the greatest
Yeah.
horror games ever.
Oh my god. And I'm afraid in the forest.
That's the one with the cannibals, right?
Yeah, it's very scary game.
Yeah, that's very yeah, it's pretty horrifying.
Yeah, and the scariest game I've ever played to date is Call of Cthulhu, and I've only played for 3 hours and I stopped.
I have not played that yet. I actually have played a little bit of it. I have it on Steam, and I've been trying to I don't have a lot of time to actually play games nowadays. I'm making them most of the time. When I do, I'm like, what do I do with my time? I just end up going to sleep. But but yeah, I've I played a little bit of that game, and that was pretty interesting. Kind of gave me some Morrowind vibes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Scrolls, yeah.
Yeah, except oh my god, the thing that scares me the most in games is when nothing's happening. like you're just walking down a hall with that's kind of shaded green a little bit, and there's doors on each side, and oh my god! But
And then
the
you notice
game,
there's no music playing. You're like,
oh
it's
yeah,
really quiet. Something's gonna happen.
but the game you're describing sounds fun. Like it doesn't sound like that it would terrify me. It sounds like it would be a really fun with startles. You know, like it would have
There's some
startling moments.
startles.
Yeah,
And, depending on the player playing the monster, you know,
yeah.
I make one of the reasons I made Horror Legend, or you know, wanted to make Horror Legends, is because I like to scare people. It's fun, you know, like playing the monster and like hiding in a closet and just like jumping out and scaring someone is a thrill.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to give the monster player all the opportunities to do that. And there's even characters that have mechanics that only help them scare people, not really kill them, but it's like it's fun, so I want to leave it in there. Like we have a killer doll character who when you play as her, the map is populated with fake versions of her, just other dolls that look exactly like her, and you can pretend to sit down and be one of them. So they don't know which doll's alive, which doll's inanimate, and the players are just walking through the environment. They're like, I don't know which doll is going to attack me.
Yeah.
And they start, if you attack the wrong doll, it's like there's a penalty, so you don't want to like make the wrong judgment call. So you're kind of like nervous around these things, and they just have these beady eyes, and it's fun, because especially when they don't see it coming. You like jump up as the doll, and you're alive running around. They start to freak out. I always like to get someone with that scare, and it's a lot of fun.
Oh, awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I probably couldn't play any horror games. So I get like, if I watch horror movies, I get very vivid nightmares, especially zombie nightmares. So yeah, I don't know if I could.
My wife's terrified of zombies.
Yeah.
Does not like zombie movies.
Yeah, like just the thought of like being eaten alive is just it's just horrifying.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, especially because zombies have that like great white shark thing going on where they don't care, and the more you scream, the more they get a little nuts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's creepy to me. Lions too. I don't like that stuff. I don't like it.
Yeah,
not at
animals.
all. Yeah,
Nope.
yeah. Keep screaming. I don't care.
Yeah, right.
It's great.
Yeah.